Since the Russian invasion on February 24th, Ukraine has received billions of dollars worth of armaments and military equipment from at least 28 countries. 25 of those 28 nations providing military assistance to Ukraine as NATO members, including the US and UK, which are supplying Kiev with sophisticated weapons such as multiple rocket launch systems and many others. Despite its growing arsenal, Ukraine, which has an active military personnel of merely 200,000, is significantly outgunned by Russian forces. For this reason, Kiev is looking for a significant increase in arms to fight off the Russian forces. Ahead of the talks, NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg revealed that allies would continue to deliver heavy weapons and long-range systems to Ukraine. The military aid directed to Ukraine includes conventional weapons as well as more advanced equipment and weaponry. Some of those weapon systems have been delivered, while some others have yet to be sent. The armaments include artillery, anti-aircraft weapons, anti-tank weapons, armored vehicles, reconnaissance attack drones, and helicopters, to name a few. Anyway, to be specific on this topic, what military equipment has the world actually been giving to Ukraine? By the way, what do you know about Ukraine? Maybe we have to make a little YouTube tour about what Ukraine is. This video came from the Ukrainian English media entitled UNITED24 Media. It presents Ukraine to the world, creating content and promoting Ukrainian culture, history, business, technology, present-day famous figures and heroes, and of course, the coverage of the war. Subscribe to the channel. You can see the link in the card up there, in the right top corner of your screen.
A media showing real Ukraine to the world. Boldly. Honestly. Badass. United24.
Number 1. HIMARS. Ukraine President Vladimir Zelensky has repeatedly called on Western nations to assign his country more heavy weapons, arguing it is the only way to stop Russian forces from turning the war into an endless bloodbath. On June 1st, the Biden administration confirmed it would provide Ukraine with high-mobility artillery rocket systems, or known as HIMARS, under the condition that Ukrainian forces do not employ them to hit targets inside Russian territory. The M142 HIMARS is a high-tech lightweight rocket launcher with the ability to strike targets at a range of 50 miles. This is almost double the range of the current M777 Howitzers, which the US promised to provide earlier in the conflict. Number 2. Howitzer. Howitzers have been provided by countries such as Estonia and Norway. The U.S. has also pledged M114 155mm howitzers long-range artillery launchers. It is mentioned that the Western howitzers have some advantage over the older Soviet-designed systems in the Russian and Ukrainian arsenals. Thus, it takes time for Ukrainian crews to learn how to operate them. Their wide assortment poses obvious logistical challenges. Additionally, a more serious problem is that the numbers of Western weapons are still far too small. Ukrainian presidential advisor Mikhailo Podolyak said that the country requires at least 1,000 heavy howitzers, 300 multiple rocket launchers, 500 tanks, and 2,000 armored vehicles, much more than what the West has provided. Another type of howitzer sent to Ukraine is the M777. The United States has provided an embattled nation with some 126 lightweight M777 howitzers, along with more than 226,000 rounds of ammunition for these 155mm cannons. These weapon systems may look an awful lot like artillery found throughout history and all over the world, including big guns leveraged by Russia's invading forces. The truth, however, is that the M777 has as much in common with technological marvels like the Mach 3 SR-71 Blackbird as it does with the 93,000-pound behemoths like Russia's 2S-7 Pion self-propelled cannons. The M777 can fire as far as 40 kilometers or 25 miles and is capable of striking within 10 meters of a target when coupled with the M982 Excalibur precision-guided munition. Furthermore, the self-propelled howitzers such as the AHS Krab and PzH 2000 were also parts of military equipment delivered to Ukraine. Poland has recently supplied 18 long-range 155mm AHS Krab PzH to the armed forces of Ukraine. It became known about the contract for another 54 self-propelled artillery vehicles of this type, which was signed between Poland and Ukraine. The deal amounts to 2.7 billion PLN, which is approximately $630 million. This is considered the largest arms supply contract in the history of modern Poland. In another case, the German Panzerhaubitze 2000 or PzH 2000 is also considered one of the best self-propelled guns in the world. Germany and the Netherlands have delivered over 12 PzH 2000s to Ukraine, and they are in action against Russian forces in Ukraine's eastern Donbass region. Ukrainian gunners say they mastered the Panzerhaubitze in about a month after training every day. The 5-man crew consists of the vehicle commander, a driver-mechanic, a gunner, and 2 loaders. RFE-RL spoke to a newly trained Ukrainian crew about their powerful new weapon. Number 3. Anti-tank weapons. According to the BBC.com, the UK has sent more than 5,000 next-generation light anti-tank weapons, or NLAWs, to Ukraine. NLAWs are designed to destroy tanks at a short range with a single shot. Crucially for Ukraine's armed forces who need weapons immediately, the missiles are easy to transport and simple to use. A soldier can be trained to use them in less than a day. Many analysts believe they had a major impact on the course of the conflict in the days following Russia's invasion. The weapons have been particularly effective when used in combination with artillery. Moreover, the man-portable missile systems such as the Javelin and the AT-4 were also part of the weapons delivered to Ukraine. According to the ArmyTechnology.com, the Javelin system is a highly valued component of the Ukrainian war effort. This procurement is part of the Ukraine Supplemental Appropriation Act. The contract includes Ukrainian Army replenishment, U.S. Army FY-22 procurement, and international partner missiles. For the information, the Javelin, a shoulder-held anti-tank weapon that shoots heat-seeking rockets hurtling towards targets up to 4 kilometers away, can be controlled by a portable unit. In addition, Sweden has already delivered 10,000 AT-4 anti-tank weapons. It is a series of 84mm unguided rocket, man-portable, single-shot, disposable, recoilless, smoothbore anti-tank weapons manufactured by the Swedish company Saab Bofors Dynamics. This weapon can be operated by a single soldier, and depending on the rocket model, it has a firing from 200 to 600 meters and can penetrate armor up to 460 millimeters. Number 4. The T-72M1 tank. It was reported by Army Recognition that Poland provides more than 200 T-72 main battle tanks to Ukraine. Citing Polish sources, Poland has sent at least 240 T-72 tanks to Ukraine, including T-72M1s, and a modernized version of the T-72, the T-72M1R. Explosive reactive armor is a type of vehicle armor that reacts in some way to the impact of a weapon to reduce the damage done to the vehicle being protected. It is most effective in protecting against shaped charges and especially hardened kinetic energy penetrators. The T-72 is equipped with explosive reactive armor that increases protection primarily against heat or high-explosive anti-tank type weapons. In fact, recent rocket-propelled grenades used by Russian troops are equipped with heat warheads. The explosive reactive armor installed on the T-72M1 could be effective against anti-tank weapons like the RPG-7 and its counterparts, which use heat warheads to engage targets. Number 5. Bayraktar TB2 and Switchblade drones. The Turkish defense contractor announced that the company is donating 3 armed drones to Ukraine free of charge. The company was responding to a crowdfunding effort that raised $20 million in less than 3 days to buy Bayraktar's mainstay Bayraktar TB2 drones for Ukraine. Bayraktar will not accept payment for the TB2s and will send 3 UAVs free of charge to the Ukrainian warfront. We ask that the raised funds be remitted instead to the struggling people of Ukraine, the company said in a statement. This is not the first time Bayraktar has gifted drones in response to crowdfunding. Earlier in June, the company said it would send Lithuania a TB2 free of charge after learning of a crowdfunding effort there to raise funds to buy a TB2 for Ukraine. The Bayraktar drone in particular garnered attention during the war as Ukrainian forces used the weapon to destroy Russian artillery systems and armored vehicles. The TB2 has a wingspan of 12 meters and can reach 25,000 feet. It has also been used during conflicts in Syria, Nagorno-Karabakh, Iraq, and Libya. Moreover, the United States has also sent 600 more AeroVironment Switchblade drones to help the Ukrainian military counter Russia's invasion, the U.S. Defense Department revealed. That's a major increase from the 100 drones the U.S. sent in March. The drones are loitering munitions that can circle above a battlefield before in effect becoming missiles that attack specific targets. They're included in the Pentagon's new $800 million in military aid to Ukraine, a package that brings the country's total contributions to $2.6 billion in security assistance. The U.S. also has sent an undisclosed number of AeroVironment Puma drones, which can circle for hours above a battlefield and help soldiers direct switchblades towards their targets. Number 6. Air defense such as NASAMS and S-300s. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has said that U.S. President Joe Biden's administration had already decided to provide Ukraine with sophisticated air defense systems known as NASAMS as Kiev fights off a Russian military invasion. The Pentagon on Friday announced that $820 million in new Ukraine military aid that includes advanced mid- to long-range air defense systems and counter-artillery radars to respond to Russia's heavy use of long-range strikes in the war. The announcement for the National Advanced Surface-to-Air Missile System, or NASAMS, marks the start of a contracting process for $770 million worth of equipment, including 4 more counter-artillery radars and up to 150,000 rounds of 155mm artillery ammunition through the Ukraine Security Assistance Initiative. NASAMS, developed by Norway's Kongsberg Defence and Aerospace, as well as American company Raytheon Technologies, marks a shift from the Russian-made air defense systems. Contracts for NASAMS are expected to be finalized within weeks or months, and Ukrainian forces will need to receive training to operate the systems, as stated by a senior defense official. In addition, the Secretary of Defense Lloyd J. Austin III put out a statement of gratitude for Slovakia's assistance to embattled Ukraine. He applauded the Slovak government's decision to supply an S-300 air defense system to Ukraine. Slovakia has been operating one battery of the Soviet-design S-300 air defense system, which it inherited after the breakup of Czechoslovakia in 1993. The Slovak donations is the first known case of a country sending an air defense system to Ukraine since the start of the Russian invasion. Number 7. Anti-aircraft such as Stinger and Gepards. Germany supplies Ukraine with 1,000 anti-tank weapons and 500 anti-aircraft Stinger missiles in the wake of the ongoing conflict in Kiev. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz said Russia's military assault on Ukraine has been a turning point for Europe, threatening the international order established of World War II, Anadolu agency reported. In this situation, it is our duty to do our best to help Ukraine defend itself against Vladimir Putin's invading army. Scholz added his statement that the Germans stand side by side with Ukraine. Moreover, Ukraine also received 15 anti-aircraft Gepard tanks from Germany. included with the arms delivery with the training support by the German armed forces and the provision of nearly 60,000 rounds of ammunition, according to the report by Germany's DPA news agency. The Gepard, a German word for cheetah, is an anti-aircraft gun or flak tank, armed with twin 35mm guns that can be used against aircraft and helicopters at altitudes of up to 3,500 meters. The tank would be especially useful for Ukrainian forces, as it was designed to counter armored attack helicopters such as the Soviet-Russian Mi-24. It is also effective against lightly armored round targets such as infantry vehicles and transport tanks, but would be vulnerable to battle tanks because of its relatively small caliber guns. For the information, the Gepard was developed in 1976 and the last tank was decommissioned by the German military in 2012. The units to be sent to Ukraine must be made operational again. The German manufacturer of the Gepard, Krauss Maffei Wegmann, has technically refurbished mothballed tanks from earlier German military stocks. A total of 50 Gepards would be made available. Anyway, that's all for today. If you have any suggestions for other interesting topics to discuss, feel free to drop your comment below. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.